Hello, hello everyone.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Systemic Conversations. And as we begin the new year, Orianne and I wanted to do something special. Over the past month, so many of you have reached out asking, how does a constellation actually work? What happens? We're curious. What does it look like in practice? And also, can it be done online? So we felt that January, this moment of beginnings, clarity, and resetting intentions was the perfect time to answer these questions. Before exploring new themes this year, we wanted to give you a clear, grounding understanding of the method itself.
Yes, Carol, thank you for helping me to spread the word about constellation. It's so important. And I can say we have had such rich conversation in earlier episodes about guilt, siblings, destiny, hurt, conflict. And we are very grateful because many listeners told us, oh, that's fascinating, but how it works?
Mhm.
Uh, it looks like magical. So this is why today we have decided to go behind the scene of systemic constellation.
Mhm.
And we will learn what happens during a session, the different formats, how you might feel in the process, and what people gain from it.
Mhm. Okay.
And it's about individual work or group work, online or in person. And you know what? Even in corporate setting.
Okay. Thank you for introducing the theme for today's topic. And what I'd like to share, first of all, is that everyone can do a constellation. Sorry, you don't need to be to have previous experiences. You don't need to be spiritual or intuitive. You don't even need to know your whole family story. So you can, yeah, you just come with your curiosity and openness. Constellations are for people who feel stuck, overwhelmed, confused, or trapped in a repeating pattern. But they're also for people who simply want clarity, lightness, or just a different perspective.
Yeah. And there are so many people who are a little bit afraid about constellation.
Mm.
But
Yes,
just
it's true.
be, 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 be relaxed because it's not dangerous. It
Hmm.
can be soft. It's powerful, really. But it depends. It depends on the person, it depends on the theme, it depends on so many different things. So and what is important, because we are used to hear the word family constellation, but
Mm.
it's not only for family, and this is why we say systemic constellation, because it's about systems, and any family is a system, a community, but also an organization, a business, or a team. And in those different systems, it's like a living being. There are tensions, even in an organization or in a team or in a family, blocks, unclear rules, or communication issues. And we have had some leaders coming to us and saying, we have some blockage, and it's like not flowing. And then we open the constellation, and the magic happens because it shows the hidden dynamics, and it's done in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
It's
sometimes there's this hidden loyalties as well, right?
exactly.
Yeah. The other thing we've not mentioned is like in systems, there's also countries. Like we did an episode talking about what's happening between Israel and Palestine.
Yeah,
There's all the big systems, yeah. Hmm.
exactly.
So,
We invite you to listen this previous episode.
mhm.
You will be struck.
Yeah. So we can we go into depth a bit more of what people bring as themes, like issues. So you could be somebody who says, I keep choosing the wrong partners. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like I need to stop doing this, repeating the same pattern. Or they say, I don't know why I keep overworking. I can't stop myself. Or they might say, I'm exhausted, but nothing seems to wrong. Like I should have lots of energy. Or they can't make any big decisions. They feel stuck. Or there are always conflicts in their relationships that keep repeating every time they change partners, then they will have conflict. Oh, so we talk corporate. My team is brilliant, but we're not functioning smoothly. Or a person might say, I'm carrying everybody's problems. I feel responsible for everyone. So, and the list is long. It's just a few
Yeah.
examples.
But I have some example that can be very significative. Like I had so many women with infertility problems.
Mm-hmm.
I had also a person with unclear um, uh, awareness about their gender.
Mm-hmm.
We have also people who used to buy everything by two, and we discovered they had a lost twin.
Wow.
So it's really very large, the
Mm-hmm.
possibilities. We can say it's quite emotional. It's always relational. It's sometimes organizational. And sometimes I have clients, they come just because they feel heavy
Mm-hmm.
or having an inner block, and
Mm-hmm.
they don't have any words to express it,
Mm-hmm.
but it blocks them.
Yeah. So sometimes the theme can be small or sometimes can be something big, yeah, in their life. Yeah. So there's no restriction of what we can cover in a constellation.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
okay. So as you can see, the method adapts to every person presenting the problem. Yeah. Okay. So so as we discovered, we said earlier, people might ask, is there only one way to do this? Like they might have heard of group constellation, like in person, but actually there's loads of more formats than just this one. And they all have different their own power of doing it
Mm.
differently. Yeah. So it could be online and yeah, I'll let you
Yes, so
yeah.
we can say we have four formats.
Mm-hmm.
The group constellation in person, online, the individual constellation in person, and online. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the four formats.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And yes, I leave.
Yeah, the initial one, which everybody must have heard about, is from Bertelinger, who started this constellation work, and that's group constellation and in person in a room. Yeah, so people just join. They might not know each other. They might all be new to this like I did a constellation on Saturday, and maybe 3 4 people had done constellation before, and the others were new to the work, so it worked for everybody. What happens is somebody brings a theme, or we can call it an issue, and it becomes the issue holder. It could be personal or professional. And then we invite the other people in the room to stand in as representatives, and they represent the different elements in the system.
Yeah. And what is interesting with systemic and family constellation, you don't need to bring all your family to do the process,
Mm-hmm.
because you have the representatives, and that is the fascinating part of the process, because those representatives, they don't know anything about your story. They
Mm-hmm.
don't know anything about your family and all the problems and the loyalties. And what they do, they just represent, they stand in the knowing field, it's called like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they start immediately to feel. to feel physical sensations, or they can feel the desire to move, to change their posture, or they can feel emotional state coming up. And that's interesting because this is the material for the facilitator. The facilitator will explore by asking some question to the representative. And so with all these emotions, these movements, the facilitator will feel what is the best move for the system to find a new balance. And when I say a new balance is not the resolution of everything, it's just a step towards a better balance.
Yeah, the better balance. Yeah, it could be that, like, well, we're not going to go into the 3 laws of the constellation because I think we covered it in a previous episode. But it could be the law of order, of belonging, and yeah. So move the representatives so they may be more in tune, yeah, to their original position, or if we feel something is imbalanced there. Yeah.
And when we know those 3 systemic laws, we offer to the representative some sentences to just repeat them as like if we would be in a laboratory. So we try them and we observe the effect. If we don't have any effect, okay, this is not the good liberating sentence or healing sentence, we can say. And we try another one, or just sometimes just to move from one place to another place. So I remember Constellation where the representative for Dad instinctively turned his body away from Mum and whispered, "Oh, I can't look at her. It's too painful." And we were struck because the client burst into tears. And it was a lived experience, but she had never named it aloud.
So the representative, it revealed what was happening in real life, yeah?
Yeah, we can say Constellation is unveiling the visible.
So making the invisible visible.
Yes.
Okay.
We unveil what is known because we think we know everything about the family and the story of the family, but we don't know the invisible part, the inner part. And it's what we open a little bit the window to that with Constellation, just a little bit.
Yes, you don't want to go too fast. So the next one is, so thank you, Orianne. The next one is individual constellation, but in person. Some people find group work might be a bit too challenging for them, a bit too, because, it's quite intimate to talk about your personal challenges. So some people prefer the privacy of one-to-one. Which is fine. And in this case, instead of using representative for other people, we just used objects. So we can use Playmobil. That's quite a nice one, but any objects can do. You can use paper. People stand on the different paper. So it could be an element that could be representing their mom, their dad, and then they represent their own dad and mom. So that in itself is very interesting for them because they feel differently, and that opens their mind to, oh, is this how my mother feels? So, and then that can really shift things for them, just sensing another way of being for their parent.
Yeah, it makes people more tolerant, and it grows the empathy.
Yeah, compassionate, yeah.
Yeah, because, well, with our family, we can be sometimes very exigent. very
Demanding, yeah.
demanding, and the constellation can when you represent as the client, you go and you represent the different members of your family or of your group, you discover how this person looks at the situation.
Mm. Yeah, from their perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you this is what Da Vinci used to say in one quote I cannot repeat exactly, but
Yeah.
I was struck with this quote because he used to say that to have an opinion about something, we need at least three different points of view
Mm.
and not just one.
Mm.
And
Mm.
this is what we offer during the constellation, different points of view, and also the identification to the story we
Mm.
have about our
Mm.
family.
Mm.
So it's very powerful.
Okay. So the next one is the same thing, is individual constellation but online. And people might be surprised that it can work because there's a screen, we're different rooms, but actually it works perfectly well. We use chairs, cushions, papers again, that's staggered on the floor, and the client again steps into each element, each place. The only difference is they're behind a screen. We're not in the same location. But
Yeah,
same again, we just ask them how they feel, what body sensation is, and even through the camera, we can sense these things. Yeah.
yeah. I just want to add that it's not because we are online that the body is not working. So we constellation is a body work
Mm,
mainly. It's not something from the mind. It's really the body and the emotions.
mm,
And we can connect with the body during an online session.
mm. So, Oriane, then there's the one online group work.
Yeah.
You do that often? You do it once a month in French, don't you?
Yes, I do. And if I have a group in English, I will be very pleased to facilitate this group constellation with English speakers. And it's like to be in person with a group. Well, the difference, the field, so this space between well, in the middle, within the circle of people, it's a little bit different because we are flat on the screen. But I like to start my group constellation when I do online to invite the, the participant to imagine, we have someone in France, and we have another one in America, and we have another one in Africa. So we can imagine the space between all those people.
Mm.
This is a beautiful quantum field.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
massive. Yeah.
so and the process is really the same. It's just to play with the technology. It's just that.
Mm. And
Yeah.
as you said, the field is not limited by physical space in this case. That's the biggest difference, right?
Yeah, and it's proved by the quantum physics.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm. Okay. So let's go now to what actually happens in a session, step by step. So we'll try to go a bit faster. I think we don't want to take people's time too much. So you arrive, let's say you want to have your constellation done, you arrive with a theme, or you could call it an issue. Us as facilitator, we ask you a few simple questions. We don't need the full history. Actually, we go right to the what's really important. Like we might ask you, how will you know that this session worked for you, this constellation worked? And that gives us the intention to keep in mind. Then we choose which elements of the systems will be included. As the constellation emerged, we might add more and more elements. The client or we choose who the elements, who the representatives are going to be. So we place them. We ask people if they want to be. That's for the group one. But anyway, again, we place the elements on the system, and then the field begins to move. As we said, postures can change, sensations can change, impulses, emotions, and we just observe, and then we just adjust. And basically, we let the system speak. As facilitators, we don't force anything. We try, it's an experiment. And as you said earlier, we try healing sentences if it feels right. I mean, one which we found lately is very powerful, is just somebody saying, I see you. If you're interested in the healing sentences, you can listen to one of our other episodes. And then new images, aligned images emerges, and then the client integrates the shift in their body and daily life. And what we tell the client is not to start speaking about the constellation, but let the constellation do its work.
Yeah,
The
I
time.
like to say it's like a surgery. So
Mm-hmm.
after the surgery, we don't touch
The wound, yeah, the scar.
the scar.
Yeah.
We just leave it and we take care of it and we breathe and that's it.
Yeah.
And what happened after those constellation? The people often say, "Wow, I didn't talk much. I didn't say much about my family, my story, but I can feel the big change I have."
Mm. Yeah, and it's felt through the body, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So actually, let's go into what people can feel after a constellation, what changes that can happen during a constellation. So there could be emotional relief, feeling lighter, having a clarity on a pattern, reconnected with someone. That's quite often the case. People who didn't speak to each other, like a member of the family, all of a sudden they're okay to speak again. They will find it easy to make decisions. A big one is to release inherited guilt, and that we have a whole episode on that. Setting new boundaries more naturally, ending self-sabotage, feeling more grounded and more in their place. There's
Mm.
another episode about place. So
Yes,
we've covered quite a few, haven't we? In
yes.
okay, yeah.
And what is interesting, sometimes we have immediately a big result, but often the shift is subtle.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, people can have a life changing in a single session, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not so common.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's so impressive, people they talk about that. But yes, it's more common to have 2 or 3 sessions and then you have the big change. But
Mm-hmm.
what I can say, it's about acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you have done the work, you accept a little bit more or completely
Mm-hmm.
what it is.
Yeah.
And then you can move on.
Yes. Yeah, and I must say with my work with Constellation is that it's been gradual. So you do a first session on something, and something gets unlocked. Then you do something and something else gets unlocked. So it can be, yeah, gradual, and you don't know how they all fit together. But yeah, so it's not one constellation, but they all play their part in your shift in your system.
But we have an example here. I once facilitated a consultation where the client saw she had been standing in for mother emotional whole life. You can imagine how heavy it can be.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment she stepped out of that position, her whole body relaxed. And afterwards, she said, "Oh, I went home, and for the first time, I wasn't responsible for her mood."
Yeah, that must be very freeing. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Orianne, for sharing this. So what I would like to say, obviously, is that if you're curious about the work, I mean, it's fascinating, and the best thing to do is to actually join one of our workshop or book an individual session because you will see how it is, because it's actually hard to explain to people. We're trying now to explain, but the best way to do it is to experience it,
Yeah.
really. And nothing is going to hurt you, if you don't feel like it, you can stop. You can just observe, or you can decide to represent. So you're not forced to go into constellation and bring an issue straight away. So it can be gradual. And you will see that your body will tell you more than words ever could. So it's a very beautiful experience.
Yeah. And if by chance you are a leader or part of an organization and you are listening this podcast, I can tell you constellation can reveal really blind spots and help to find a new balance. And I have an example because when I say part of an organization, you can be an employee and you feel the heaviness of the team or anything about where you are working. And I did with a lady from Luxembourg, and she was really not at ease at work, and she had a problem, relationship problem with the director. We did the constellation, individual, an in-person constellation, and she called me 2 weeks later. How it's possible? I went to have a lunch with my director, and it was so relaxed and so easy. And she couldn't imagine something like that, and
Mm,
it happened by
mm,
itself.
mm.
But by itself because she did the constellation.
Yeah, and sometimes people don't make the connection, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny, because it becomes so natural that they don't realize, oh, I had a constellation about this. Yeah. I'm aware there's somebody online, so I don't know if Claudia wants to ask a question before we finish the call.
No, I don't need to ask a question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for joining today.
Thank
Thank you for attending this session. You can listen to the replay, obviously, and this was our first episode for the year. We're probably going to take a bit of time to rethink how we want to do the next episode, so we'll love to have your feedbacks, and I hope you understand now a bit more in depth how the constellation work, and why they're so transformative.
Yeah. And if this episode resonated with you, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share it with someone who might benefit. That's important. And leave us a review. It helps really. It helps also the podcast grow. So we will see you in the next episode. And until then, take good care.
Bye bye, everybody. Thank you for coming and joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia.